how are you going to handle just kind of this afternoon, leading up to the game, and trying to quell the nerves or whatever, the jitters, the excitement before game one?
No, there shouldn't be any nerves. I'm just excited to go. Treat it like any other game day.
Can you give us a sense? You have some family in town, or is it?
Yeah, mom and dad are here. They're excited. I think my dad probably more so. He's waited a long time to see when we play in the playoffs, and happy that they could be here.
Playoff time can be kind of crazy for you guys, just in terms of demands, friends, all those sorts of things. Do you have to create a little bit of that shell around yourself at this time of year? Do you plan on it?
Yeah, I mean, you want to be as welcoming as you can be, but at the same time, you got to take care of your own stuff, and hockey's first and foremost. So you do have to protect yourself and learn to say no a little bit. So yeah, it's nice just having mom and dad in town.
You've elevated your game to another level over the last 14 games. What can fans expect to see from playoff Connor McDavid?
Hopefully the same. It's obviously a little bit of a different game, but hopefully just keep playing my game. It's made me successful so far, so I'm not going to change too much.
What do you expect from a guy like Logan Couture, who might be out of games to a veteran player?
Yeah, he's been around a while. He was very successful last year in the playoffs. Had a great run, so he was a good player. I don't really know too much to expect. I've played against him a few times, but we'll see.
In your experience against the San Jose defense, they've got pretty good depth to that position. Just give us an assessment of your challenge.
Yeah, they have good D-men up and down the lineup. They're, I don't know what else to say. They're good. It's a good challenge. So yeah.
What would you say about kind of the overall confidence level in this room? Just given the way you guys finished, some of the teams that you beat, how would you assess that?
Yeah, I think everyone's feeling good. We kind of finished our season playing against our division, and everyone in our division is very good. So we got some good tests, and we handled them well. So the guys should be feeling good heading into tonight.
What do you rely on from past history for what you might expect from will do in the playoff games?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different animal. But you can rely a little bit on it, but not too much. Like I said, it's a little bit different. Yeah.
You got a sense of the decibel level in this building near the end of the regular season tonight. Really loud building. Likely, how much do you draw off that from the fans?
Yeah, we'll definitely play into that a lot. It's awesome having the fan support that we do. They got loud late in the season, and we hope they get even louder. Everything helps.
Connor, what is your kind of first memory of playoff hockey? Maybe watching it, or as a kid, whether you watch it, thought, geez, I hope one day I'll be involved in this kind of event.
Yeah, just the intensity of it. Every play matters. Everyone is going as hard as they can. I think that excitement level is what I've always dreamed of playing in.
Do you think that the day will be as normal as a regular season day, or what you remember from your previous playoff experiences?
Yeah, it shouldn't be too different. I'm not going to change anything. Same old. Thanks.
Thank you. Connor was saying that it'll be as normal a game day as possible. What does a game day look like for you? Like, what happens between now and game time?
Sleep. I think you don't try and make too big of a deal of this. You try and keep it as normal as possible, and go eat something now and then go home, relax a little bit. Some guys sleep, some guys don't, and then get ready for the game.
Is it a sense of anticipation? Is it a bit of nervous excitement? What's the emotion of it today?
Yeah, I think we're definitely all really excited. I think the whole city, the whole organization is extremely excited for tonight and for the whole couple next weeks. I think it's I don't want to say it's nervousness, but it's like I said, it's excitement, and I think we're all looking forward to tonight.
There's some question as to whether Couture or Thornton, if they play, what percentage they'll be at. How relevant is that to the way you guys prepare, or to the series, you think?
I don't think it is at all. They're a good team over there, and they're a good team without those guys too. So Whether they're in the lineup or not, you know, that doesn't change anything for us. We have to play our game. We have to make sure we come out strong and have a good first 10 minutes.
You've had a chance to play in it.
Milan.
Anything that needs to be said heading into this game, or is the team dialed in?
I don't think too much needs to be said from my end, other than, you know, just keep doing what we've done all year. That's given us success, and have fun with it. You know, don't get over anxious. Don't get over excited. Just go out there and play your game, and let everything take care of itself.
You're obviously part of some Sharks Kings physical battles. What's the approach in terms of physicality to take against San Jose?
Well, I think no matter who the opponent is you want to be physical, especially the way that we're built. You know, we got some big forwards that can get in there on the forecheck, and you know, we're also a team that plays with a lot of speed. And you know, playing against them last year in the playoffs, you know that they're a team that's not going to be too intimidated by it, and they're not going to back down from it. And but you know, our mindset is to try to bring that physicality, you know, to this round. So we're going to do whatever we need to do in order to win hockey games, and if winning the physical battle is one of them to win the series, that's something that we're going to have to step up and do.
Ryan, do you get the sense that the team playing at home in the first 10 minutes, say, to be too amped up? You know, you've got the crowd cheering the minute you come on the ice for the warm-ups and everything. Is it a little, you have to dial it down just a little bit, and it's like business is, or not?
Well, I mean, you have to try and dial it down a little bit, but it's almost inevitable, right? I mean, first playoff game in Edmonton since 2006, and you know, first playoff game for a lot of guys in this room, and I think it's inevitable that the nerves are going to be there, and it's going to be ramped up, and it's just kind of doing what you can to get past those first 10 minutes, and doing what you can to get yourself physically and emotionally involved in the game, and where you can kind of calm yourself down. So whether that's blocking a shot or getting in on the forecheck, or even putting a shot on net, you know, doing what you need to do to, you know, get those jitters and those, like you said, those first 10-minute nerves out. So it's like I said yesterday, it's even going into my 9th year in the playoffs, you still kind of get that feeling. So it never really goes away, but you got to do what you can to get into it as early as you can.
Well, then, Connor is no stranger to big stages and big moments. From everything you've seen from him this year, the way he handles different things, do you think he's as prepped for a first NHL playoff game as anybody can be? I mean, he's kind of used to it.
Yeah, for sure, and he's been used to it, like you said, from a very young age. I think the spotlight's been on him since he's been, you know, 13, 14 years old. So the one thing that I've been really impressed by is the fact that he just goes out there and kind of blocks all the outside stuff and just goes out there and plays hockey. And I think it's nothing new for him going into a series knowing that he's going to be a marked man. I think everyone expects that from whoever the opponent is, that he's going to be marked, and the pressure is going to be on him to perform. But he's always, from what I've seen this year and what I've seen in the past, and even in the OHL playoffs, he's able to step his game up when it matters the most. And I think even another example was the way he was able to elevate his game in the World Cup, where it was a best on best tournament, and I mean, him and that whole team kind of took that tournament by storm. So you know, I expect him to bring his best, you know, but we can't just count on him. It's a team game, and you know, no one's ever won it all just by themselves. So we need everyone to step up their game heading into tonight.
So, sorry if you already asked this, but when you know that
got to be very smart out there.
Who between you and Adam is the more talkative, and how's this going to go in the playoffs? Is it going to change in any way?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we found a really good chemistry here during the season. Obviously, it's been huge for the team, especially for me in the defensive zone, so I can follow up some rushes and create a little bit more offense. And we're going to try to do that here in the playoff too. Obviously, everybody know the other team so well by this time, so we're just gonna, like I said, and once again, we got to be smart here and be ready for that start.
Is there a lot of talking between you guys, like on the ice, within the game?
It is, and sometimes it's Swedish and sometimes English. It depends how they line up, for sure. If they have a Swede out there, we just go English. But sometimes on the face-offs and stuff, we can speak Swedish, so we have a little bit, just get that little advantage, like time-wise.
So you know who's on the other side.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. When we play the Sedins, there's no really point speaking Swedish, but sometimes when we're out there against all the Canadians, it's like we can speak Swedish and we get that just fraction of a second more time or whatever to get out there. Yeah.
Does Donskoy speak Swedish?
I don't think so. I'm not really sure. I gotta know that. I gotta take care of that during the day here.
Prior to this game, when would you have been the most nervous? Maybe first NHL game or what?
Yeah, first NHL game. I remember it was like yesterday. I didn't nap. I just felt really bad during the day. I was so nervous. But I mean, once you get into the league, I mean, it's a dream come true. This is where you want to be in your life, and I mean, I'm just enjoy it every day here.
I know you've already kind of addressed this, but just what are you expecting from the crowd tonight? They haven't had a home playoff game since June of 2006.
It's going to be bumping. The whole town is going to be bumping. I mean, when we clinched against LA, the last couple of minutes there just give me goosebumps. I mean, it's going to be an unreal feeling. A really nice atmosphere tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Todd, in 2006, you were assistant coach in Detroit, and here it is. You know, the Oilers fans have been through a lot. Can you just talk about maybe what's changed for you in the last 10 years when you look at your career and maybe put that into perspective?
Well, a lot more gray hair, that's for sure. But, you know, that's the last question I thought I would answer today, so I'm certainly not prepared to elaborate too much because it's not about me, but, you know, different teams, different experiences with different players. You know, the last time the Oilers were in the playoffs, I was on the Red Wing bench, and we ended up losing in 6 games, I believe, to them in the first round. And it was, you could feel the momentum building for the Oilers during that initial round. And, you know, they ended up beating us and going on and having a good run. And the city just became frantic with Oiler passion. And I remember following it after. It was one of the series, or one of the teams that I continued to follow was the Oilers. And you got a sense of how passionate everybody became in the city. So that was my experience 10 years ago. Lots changed since then, but we don't even need to talk about that.
Todd, when it comes to everyone saying we're just going to take it like another game 83 type thing, but with the energy of the city, the energy of the building, it's not just another game, but is it tough to kind of just focus on the game and block everything else out?
I think you're right. It's easy for us to say we're going to keep doing what we always do, and we have done that as far as preparation and everything goes, but I'm sure the nerves are a little bit higher today. The palms are a little more sweaty. The noise level goes up, and as one of the players put, the stakes are greater. You know, but once we start playing, it's the same ice surface, it's the same rules. Just as you play deeper into the playoffs or you get deeper into a series, the funnel kind of narrows, and your ability to overcome mistakes gets tighter and tighter. And that's just the way playoff hockey is. But for our group, this is a great opportunity for us to evaluate our team. We haven't had a chance to do this as an organization for a decade, so this is brand new. We're excited about being able to play in it. We're excited about the opportunity to evaluate. We know we've still got to grow and make changes as we move forward to continue pushing. And this is a great viewing opportunity for all of us to look at how our team will react and how certain individuals will play.
You have a past history with San Jose. Does it give you any kind of edge with player tendencies, things like that?
I've been asked that a number of times, and I don't think it does. In fact, I don't know how many players are left over there, but they understand our tendencies as a coach. They know our language. They know some of the things that we'd like to do. So I would say any advantage we have is negated by their knowledge of us as well. So I don't think it'll be a big issue at all in the series.
Their top two centers, Couture and Thornton, are both some level of questionable, whether they play, how well, how would they have left, how much they're hurt. In game planning against the Sharks, what does that mean for you when you're just not sure who's going to be in a lineup?
We plan as if they are. Logan will play for sure, and Jumbo, unless they cut his leg off, we'll see him at some point in the series. That's how he is. He's an old school guy that will find his way into the series. I don't know if he'll play in game 1, but we plan as if they're in.
During the regular season, you would give us this info. I'll ask today, not knowing if I get it or not, but
The starting goalie?
Yeah.
Cam Talbot.
third pairing on D, like Greiber, Benning, and what the fourth line looks like.
We'll get that in warm-up.
Okay, fair enough. Connor McDavid has played in a lot of big situations, junior, World Juniors, World Cup, World Championships. Is there that experience that he has? Is he as battle-ready as you can be for NHL playoffs as any player might be?
Well, we're going back to the experience thing, I think. And he, amongst many others on both teams, all the teams in the playoffs, have played in those championships, World Championships, Olympics. You know, Jordan Eberle hasn't played in the NHL playoffs, but he's been a key guy at that World Junior moment. So they've played on big stages before. They've captured big moments. They've won and they've lost in those situations. So they've had some training, maybe a little different in the National League. But you've got to play your first game to say you've played it, and you've got to play in your first series to gain experience. And again, I'm going back to the opportunity that we have to evaluate our team, see where we're at as we grow, and if we're comfortable with the group that we have moving forward in years to come, or if we have to make changes. Now we get to evaluate playoff hockey.
Hey, Todd.
Hi, Mr. Purdy.
How are you?
Good.
So I looked it up. Since the Edmonton Oilers last played a playoff game, the Sharks have played 110 playoff games. What will you look for from your team that will show they can, match what the Sharks are going to bring to the table?
Well, San Jose is and always has been a very strong first 10-minute team, and we expect that. I'd like to believe that we can respond to that, but I don't think we can over-evaluate small segments initially in the series. We'll have to watch our team evolve 5, 6, 7 games and see if we can make adjustments and fix things that maybe aren't going our way, accentuate and grow off of things that are going our way. And then we'll learn a lot about our team, and we'll be able to view them as we go. But we're just looking for a starting point right now, and we'll get that after game 1.
Todd, during the year you talked how you always wanted to get everybody into the game as quick as possible. You didn't worry so much about line matching in certain matchups. Oscar Kleppbaum says, he feels matchups are more important now. As a guy who's coached a lot of playoff games, do you find you look for matchups more in the playoffs than you have in the regular season?
Well, again, it'll depend on lineups, depend on what the other team is trying to do. I think that when the media often looks at matches, it's misconstrued. It's sometimes harder to get your match at home, the way people change. Nobody knows what the coaching staff's plan is. They have certain pairs of defensemen that match up well, so sometimes coaches choose to match up against D-man. And nobody knows that plan, so when everybody goes to their analytic computer and opens it up and it explodes with all this information, and we Corsi this and Corsi that, nobody really knows what the plan was. So we'll see what we do as we go forward.
Just one more. In the dressing room just a minute ago, we're talking to Milan, and just got a big grin on his face. Just, clearly ready to have some fun. You don't hear the word fun a lot. How much of that does he bring in terms of experience, but just to go and embrace this and have a good time?
Well, he does bring that. He's been smiling for a month and a half now. He kind of got his game going, and he's fit our team now. And, he has been through some really good times playoff-wise, where you end up putting your hands above your head after you've played that last game. And that's always fun. But there's also stress that goes with it. You have to take it for what it's worth. You got to be able to park good games and bad games. And I think his 110 games or 5 games of doing that can help some others that may take that stress or that jubilation and take it a little bit too far. That's where his experience will come in.
Thornton and Logan Couture tonight?
Game time decisions. Both of them are skating here this morning, and then we'll decide at game time.
What is it, the repercussions of your lineup? How big are those two guys, not just on the ice, off the ice, on your bench, part of your team? What's it mean to you?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, obviously important, you know. I don't think you can understate their importance to the group, but I also believe we're built to handle injuries, and we have depth, and you know, you can't feel sorry for yourself in this league. It's next man up, and we played without significant players at different points over the last 2 years, and managed to stay competitive. So that's the plan.
Pete, if Logan and or Joe are in, Milan Lucic said this morning that you don't go out of your way to hurt anybody, but you definitely want to let them know that they're there. How do you guys handle that from your perspective, from your side, with maybe their guys being a little extra physical with guys that might
Yeah.
pick up?
Again, you know, you're talking about guys that they've seen that before, you know. We've seen that before. We saw the same out of Milan Lucic last year in the first round against LA. That stuff, you know what, you got to play through that stuff. We expect it, and we'll deal with it, and like we always have. Yeah, you know what, he's been a great addition. I didn't know much about him. I remember speaking to the coaches in New Jersey after we signed them, and you know, their report was basically, you're going to really like this guy, and we have. He's come as advertised. He's a puck mover. He's got a real composure to his game with the puck. He defends better than people give him credit for, and you know, he's been a real good addition for us.
Pete, can you talk about Martin Jones and how his evolution? He'd always been a backup, but last year, obviously, he proved in the regular season and then through the playoffs that he could carry a team as well.
Yeah, I mean, real similar story to Talbot, you know. Two guys that have come into the league and have had to earn everything they've got. Jonesy wasn't a draft pick. You know, so you have a ton of respect for guys like that, and what he did last year for us on that playoff run was exceptional, and you know, we have the utmost confidence in him, and you know, feel he's going to be one of our best players again here starting tonight.
Pete, you've done this a while. In your view, what shows up most on the ice in terms of a team that does have more playoff experience than another? Is there are certain things that show up that are markers?
I don't know. You know, I mean, you know, that's all. Not that it doesn't mean anything, but you know, it doesn't mean anything till it means something. You know, whether that's Game 7, you know, whether that's you know, Game 3 on the road, and you're reeling, and somebody says the right thing at the right time. But that can happen with young teams too. So, you know, we're not paying a lot of attention to that. We're excited about the opportunity. I feel we have a group of men that thrive at this time of year, and I think they've proven that over the years, and I think they're ready to do it again.
Pete, just back to Joe real quick. I mean, what do you need to hear from doctors or from him to be comfortable with him playing? I mean, I know in the playoffs you play through different stuff, but does he need to be at no risk of further injury? Or?
Well, I think that's always the case. You never want to risk further injury, but this is going to be Joe. Joe's going to make that decision, and nobody else. He'll tell us, and it's not just whether he can play at a level that he can help us. And he knows his body better than anybody. He knows his game better than anybody, and when he's ready to go, he'll go, and hopefully that's tonight.
You played Vlasic against a lot of the top guys. You know, last playoffs, it was Crosby in the final. Now you got McDavid. His speed, how different is it? How much focus do you guys put on the one individual to try to slow him down?
Well, you know, again, you have to pay attention to him. I mean, you look at the analytics, I don't know, I think it's 40-something% of their offense, you know, is through him. And, you know, but at the same time, you can't underestimate the other guys they have, and the depth of the group. I think that gets lost sometimes, you know, with all the McDavid talk. This is a deep group of offensive guys, and they can hurt you a bunch of different ways. So, yes, we're focusing on him and that speed, and you know, again, you have to defend him as a 5-man unit. You're not going to do it with 1 or 2 guys, but you know, we're also focusing on their group because they've got a talented group.
What is it about Vlasic and Braun specific that they do so well against top pairs? Is it just their communication, their angles? Why are they such a good pair for you?
Well, I think they take a lot of pride in their job, which you know, everybody wants to score. You start playing hockey, you want to score goals, and these guys take pride in defending and taking the wind out of the sails of very good players, and you know, that's rarer than you think at the NHL level, and they do complement each other, but I think that's the biggest thing. They take a lot of pride in that, and it's great to have them on our side.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.